Welcome back everybody, my name's Anna McCauley and today we're going to have a look at doing some levitation. This is the image that we're going to be working on today. I've tweaked it and blurred the background a little and add a little detailing around to make it sort of look like a much older vintagey sort of photo, but you of course don't have to do that. Alright, so this is what we're going to be looking for. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is to load the pictures up. So both pictures are going to come out on the layers. So we're going to go to File, Scripts, Load File into Stack. File, Scripts, Load File into Stack. And then this brings up a browser. You go to Browse. And the teacher should have put these images in there for you onto the network or something for you, so you can get them easily. Alternatively, if you're just looking at YouTube, I will have put them onto my Pinterest and you can load them from there. I have got a detailed link on my YouTube underneath it where you can access my Pinterest details. Alright, so what we're going to do is what you're going to do is have a look at background and person, and then we go OK, and you can see how they're coming up there. So they're the two correct files, I hope. I'm going to go right. Once they've loaded in, you can see there's two files there, and I'll run through the differences. The first photo, the background layer goes on the bottom, so just drag it down or drag the person one up. So that's right. Turn the eye off this one just so you can see the differences. The first image that you do is of the background without the person, or most importantly without the object they're sitting on to give them that effect of levitation. The biggest mistake that I've seen by hundreds and hundreds of students is that they leave the stool or whatever in the background shot. That means you can't rub it out because you've got nothing behind it. So really important, take the shot without the stool or person in it first. Or you can do it secondly, but make sure you remove the stool and person as well. The hardest thing about this is designing your shot. This is what takes the most time. This particular trick in Photoshop doesn't take long at all. So that's your background, no person, no stool. Clicking on my eye, making sure when I click on person it's blue. Then you can see I've got a person there, but you can see the stool underneath there. So that's the bit we've only got to rub out. Now if she's on a ladder or something chunkier, then you have to rub out more. But other than that, it's pretty easy to do. So we'll go ahead. So I'm going to go Control Plus so I can get a close up, and I'm going to press my space bar down. So there we've got the stool bit here which we have to rub out. I'm going to use a layer mask for this. Click on your third thing down, add layer mask. You can see it's a layer mask when you get a white square. When you're working in layer masks, you're going to be working in white and black. So you can see how I can toggle between the white and black. You also have to use your brush tool for this. So if you press B, it goes to my brush tool, or you click up here and that's your brush tool. What you also want to do is you set your brush tool with a fuzzy edge. Oh, actually you might not for this, because we've got to cut out some nice sharp angles there. So that's okay, we don't need it. I'm just going to right click and make my brush a bit smaller so I can get into some details. Control Plus, blowing it up. You just have to take your time cutting it out. If you do that well, then it doesn't look real at all. Alright, so make sure you click on the white square. You're on black and you're on your brush tool. Then again, I'm going to go up blow it up hot more because I like to see what I'm cutting out properly. Now when I cut out, I then take my finger off every now and again. So if I've done a good bit, I don't want to have to redo that. If I stuff up down here and I don't only keep my finger on without releasing it, it doesn't go, it goes back to where you first started. So just nice and carefully, see, I'll take my finger off if it's good before I stuff up. Goes from that spot down there. I'm then going to cut all, I can just not so carefully cut all that out. And can you see over on your white thing is a little bit of black starting to come up there. Again, just cutting all that out. Oh, sorry, you know what I haven't got? It needs to be on 100% opacity. So all I'm doing is sticking on my layer mask using black, cutting out that stool. How easy is that? The hardest bit is really arranging this composition, getting the person to sit there while you take it with the tripod. That's the hard bit. Getting a stool out or ladder or something. Alright, so we've just rubbed all that out. Control minus. Now she's levitating. It is as simple as that. So you've got your background layer there with nothing in it, no stool, no person. The front layer, I've now just rubbed the stool out with my layer mask. We're then going to apply this layer by, I'm just going to go Control E, which is merging down. So now it's all one lovely layer, and which is what I'd like you to do. So make sure you always end up with one layer. Then File, Save As. So finished Lev. We don't have to say with extras at this stage. Save. I hope you enjoy that. Please upload any photos onto my YouTube underneath so I can have a look at what you're doing. Let me know, or send me a Pinterest link or something like that. I'd love to see what you're doing, and I'd love to comment on it as well. Because look, some of these techniques, see how easy that was in Photoshop? It's just simply a little layer mask and rubbing out, and how cool is it? So that's why heaps of people are doing it. The hardest bit with the levitation really is the arrangement of it and getting the person to sit there for long enough, and bringing in a tripod and taking two photos that are exactly the same so that your camera doesn't move. That's the most important thing. So whenever you rub out, the background is just the same. Then it's so easy. So if you follow that, if you don't have a tripod, lean it up on a surface. If you follow that rule, background first, or set your model up, have a look at your composition, then get her to leave, take your background, then bring in a stool or a little table or something. Don't go too high, and have some fun. Make sure the model is looking as if they're floating. Point your toes, keep your arms waving a little bit. Even have a fan for the hair, or someone holds their dress a little bit so that it looks like she's actually got some wind, that she or he has got some wind behind them as well. That's what makes a huge difference. Alright, until next time, happy photoshopping, and I'll speak to you soon.